Hey everyone, welcome into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the free play. Thanks for being here. Hopefully by now you've noticed that I've tried to make some tweaks to some videos. I actually turned down the sound just a touch on this one. And we're trying to continue to make improvements. Yeah, and that's just what it is. Today is the 18th, by the way. Watch the video that Arnold did, for me today. For me, it was like a couple hours ago. Talking about how Omega's not working as intended. And he's absolutely right. Because it's like I keep saying, maybe I haven't said it on here enough, but on the other channels, the other shows I do say it. It's like it doesn't have to be this way. It's like, because it's like if you just tested your game and you didn't have to go back and make these changes, nobody would have a problem with it. Like if people didn't see how this could work, and you actually tested it before the character came out. I know that might sound incredibly insensitive of me to ask a game studio who's made more money from this game probably than any Star Wars game ever to actually test their game and see that the characters works as it's intended to work. Did I get any? I wasn't even paying attention. Did I get any? I feel like I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Probably not. But I totally get where Arnold's coming from. We're not asking for a lot. Just that you don't roll back these. Just that once people play the game, that you don't have to make changes to a character because whoever you had testing the character didn't test it well enough. And because of that, I think that the community has an absolute right to be like upset about that, because it's something that, what are you doing? How are you missing this? I mean, it's just absolutely inexcusable. And quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I've been playing this game. This when you're seeing this video, this account turned to 1 on Super Bowl Sunday. But so I started playing about 2 years ago. Super Bowl Sunday is when I think I started the original account 2 years ago. So I've been playing for 2 years, and it's like almost 2 years at this point. This game in total, so take that with a grain of salt. If you think that I know what I'm talking about, just consider that I've only been playing this game for 2 years. But it's like, just with what they've seen, just from what they did with Heroes of Middle-earth, and what they did with my beloved Disney Source Arena, in not even giving those games a fair shake, to come to this game and start playing it, and to just see the absolute cluster that this game is, with all of the issues. Yes, it's been around for what? This year, is it this year that it turns 10 years old? I don't know. Maybe it is, but it's like, you would think by the time a game turns 10 years old that maybe you would have figured out the issues that the game has and address them. And I if you think that, I don't think that's too much to ask. I think that's the very minimum the community should be asking of you as a company, CG or EA or both. It's like, if you're not able to meet that, well then it's like, because the people that play this game and pay money, they pay good money. And crap should work when they're playing said money. And if it doesn't, then how can you expect them to continue to play and continue to pay money? Because sooner or later, there's going to come a game out there at some point. You know, there's a lot of gacha games. I'll be honest with you, I keep looking for new games to play all the time. And if one suits if one fits what I want to do, then I'll give it a bash. Then I'll give it a try. If you just go back and if you go and look at my other channel, you'll see that I played, that at one time I was playing, I don't know if I got that on there. At one time, like, trying to figure out when this was, there was a Power Ranger gacha game that I don't honestly think enough people gave a chance to, but I loved that. And one time I played Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, and then I just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm done. And Magic Mana Storm, that was a card game, but and then of course DSA, and it's just really disheartening. And I used to play DC Legends. I think I talked about that on the other channel at some point. But all these games were good, and they could have been great, except for either the developers just didn't listen. And the problem is you've got a small vocal minority, like you do in every game, that gets their way because they complain about absolutely everything. And I don't know those people. I've never interacted with those people. The people that I know and the people that I interact with is with, like, Arnold and Nooch and Gerbil and Fat Phil and Calvin and Sanjita and these guys who, if you're on YouTube and you're watching a video regularly, chances are you've come across them at some point, and because they're probably a lot more well-known than I am, and for good reason. And generally speaking, they have a very level-headed way about doing that. The problem I have with them is they're all very expensive, and they've all been playing the game for a long time. And so, like, you know, they all have access to super high-level guilds where they can just, well, anytime they start up a new account, they can just jump in a game and start acquiring all this currency to basically hyperloop their account. And so you know, Nooch, even though he starts a new account every year, and even though he's doing a very different journey than what he's done before, if you look at where his Lord Vader account is, it's like, really the only way you get there is if you have a defined plan, you know where to go, and if you have access to a guild that can help you get there. And for me, there's a reason I have all of my accounts in various different guilds. Like, I have This account isn't a free-to-play only account. It isn't a free-to-play only guild. It's called the People's Guild. Everybody in here is 100% free-to-play on purpose. And basically, what I'm trying to do is stay informed with what those guys are saying, and filter that through somebody who's not at the level that somebody that's been playing this game for as long as Nooch has, as long as Fat Phil has, as long as Arnold has, as long as have all these guys have. What I think. Because I don't know if you've done this. I kind of don't do things the way they do it, and I think that's valuable because the more honest opinion and the more critical thinking that goes into stuff, instead of just reacting to what the loudest people posting on the forums are complaining about, is what if you went and you gave it a couple of days, and if you're a game developer, I'm talking about, what if you just wait a couple of days, let it sort itself out, came and watch Arnold's video, came and watched Newt's video, came and watched all these other people's video, and then made a decision based upon that? Because it took them how long to change the, what is it, whatever fighter it is for the Leviathan, and it took them how long? I mean, this stuff is just, it's your game. You're being paid for a service. If you put out a character that's part of your service, and then you see something happen, and you're like, oh, we don't like that, then that's on you. You made it that way. And if somebody chooses to use Nihilus the way that you didn't intention, hey, you need to take a lot of feedback from everybody, not just a lot of people, but you need to stop and listen to what people outside of your echo chamber is saying. And that's what it does. Because like with the intro to the Bad Batch, I was like super hyped about them because of what, and I'm like, oh, there's no event. Well, that changes my desire to prioritize them. Anyway, that was long, and it was probably, TLDR. And if it is, that's fine. But we didn't get a whole lot done. There's nothing to be done. We got random pieces of someone, and if we're lucky, we can put an ability on a ship, and it's nonstop. It never ends. We like to think it will. We like to hope it will, and eventually it will. But until you get there, that's a long way away. But hey, I finished Geo Soldier Fighter. So I mean, it's like everything else. We're getting there. It's just incredibly slowly. But but be assured, when we get 2,000 crystals, which at this point is, we're at 812, we need about 1,200 more. And then we could start actually doing refreshes. And that's something that, if you're watching and you're like, hey, give me a reason to be excited about watching you, that would be what I would say, is just wait until we get to 2,000 crystals, because now we're done with all the ships. And we can actually do refreshes, and you'll actually see movement with First Solar Storm and Palpatine and these, the very salacious hillbilly, who is veteran smuggler Han. But yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to let me know. As always, I appreciate all of you. Hold the line, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.